Welcome back to Midday on this chilly Monday afternoon. Our first guest joining us is Carmen Mazzotta from the City of Kamloops, the City Community Planner for all of us here. Thanks for being here, Carmen.
Thanks for having me.
And hopefully you're able to stay warm under these lights for a little bit before you get back outside. We're talking about changing the zoning bylaw to allow, I guess, more residential suites in our city. This is a project that you've been working on. Just tell us a little bit about why and how it's been going.
Yeah, well, there's three key reasons, I think, why we're looking at this project. So one is around housing, right? So suites do provide a form of affordable housing for renters, and we have a low rental vacancy rate right now. We have for several years.
Yeah.
For homeowners, in a time of increasing home ownership costs, it can provide a great mortgage helper for homeowners. So we recognize that. The second piece is around health and safety. So we want to see suites built under a valid building permit to BC Building Code standards to ensure tenant health and safety. And also for residents in neighborhoods, if suites are built in accordance with zoning regulations, where they're providing 3 off-street parking stalls, that can help deal with some of the potential parking issues that you might see in neighborhoods.
Right.
And the third issue is around sustainability. So we just updated our official community plan last year, CAM plan, and we want to see efficient use of existing services and infrastructure. So this is a great form of sensitive infill that doesn't disrupt residential character of single-family neighborhoods too much, and can achieve that piece around efficient use of our services and infrastructure.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, I guess having suites in particular neighborhoods could, change the landscape a little bit of those neighborhoods, but you don't think that would happen? You don't think people would have an issue with adding more suites to areas?
It can, and it depends on the neighborhood. So we're looking at urban residential areas, urban residential neighborhoods. And again, we would have still zoning regulations around minimum lot sizes, around off-street parking. So generally, a lot of the issues we see are where adequate off-street parking is not being provided, or where suites are being built on lots where, maybe it's affecting the character of the neighborhood too much. But we have, development guidelines for garden and carriage suites, which in other communities they call, laneway homes and coach houses. So again, really to try to ensure that those are integrated.
So let's look at this picture, Carmen. So take us through this. These are the kinds of suites you can have? Yeah,
so right now, secondary suites are allowed in certain zones in the city, not all urban residential areas. And garden suites on the right of the screen there. So those are one-story accessory dwelling units. In some communities, again, they call them, laneway homes or coach houses, detached from the main principal dwelling. And then carriage suites, that's a 2-story accessory dwelling. So you might have a garage on the entry level. And so what we're looking at doing is we're asking the community right now, do you want to see secondary suites in more urban residential areas of the city? And do you want to see garden suites potentially in the urban core, so downtown, Sagebrush, West End, North Kamloops, or in all urban residential areas, or the status quo? So just trying to get residents' feedback on where would you like to see suites, and what type of suites in more areas of the city? So
this isn't a done deal just yet. It's you're getting that public input first.
Absolutely.
And I know tomorrow you have a public information session. Talk a little bit about that. What can people expect when they get there? We have the information here. It's an open house, I guess I should say, from 7 to 9 tomorrow at the Sandman Center. So this is that chance for people to go and say, hey, I'd like to see it here, or I wouldn't like to see it here.
Absolutely. So what we're going to have at the open house is we'll have some interactive displays, some voting stations where people can vote on their preferences. They can chat with city staff. I'm going to give a brief presentation, and then we're going to have a panel with some city staff where the audience can ask questions and the panel will answer. So we have a social planner, so affordable housing piece, a property use inspector. We'll have a current planner and an engineer with the city as well to kind of answer some of those different questions. We also have a survey available online on our letstalk.kamloops.ca site. Where residents can complete a survey, answer questions, share their feedback till February 24th. And then, people can share ideas anytime as well, thoughts, ideas, comments to communityplanning@kamloops.ca. So it's another way to provide feedback.
Good, excellent. Yeah. Thank you so much, Carmen. Really appreciate that. So again, that open house is tomorrow night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Sandman Center. And there's more information, of course, and where that survey is that you can take part in. We're back in a couple of minutes with Roxana Ferguson with your travel deals to get out of this cold weather. Stay with us.